Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. We are looking at the weather for today. As you can see outside, it is mostly cloudy and dry, but after about 6 p.m., storms are going to develop out west and move closer and closer to SA and San Antonio by late tonight after sunset. So we'll show you timing and what to expect and the severe weather threats for tonight, what we can expect, and future radar, everything you need to know coming up in just a bit. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. We'll be on Facebook, Twitter, and all the other social media platforms for the next 30 minutes or so answering questions on the latest on weather. So let me know. Good morning, everybody. Danielle, Rhesus, and Amber. Good morning to everyone. Luis, how is everyone doing? Hope you're having a wonderful start to your Monday and work week. And it's a cloudy start, right? It's very cloudy, it's gloomy, it's gray, not a lot of sunshine. And we'll see a few breaks in the sky later on today, but not a ton. And you can see it is a gray start to our day. Take a look, live shot from San Antonio International, Calaveras Lake. A few breaks in the sky. You can see a little bit of blue fighting through near Calaveras Lake, but some haze out near downtown San Antonio. Matter of fact, our sky cam is having trouble picking up on the skyline of downtown San Antonio. It's a little difficult and cloudy out there, but otherwise dry. Same thing over at Morgan's Wonderland, looking pretty good. So let's show you what we're expecting for today. Today, cloudy with just scattered rain, very isolated coverage through the afternoon. So for the next couple hours. So if you're going out to lunch, you're fine. It'll be mostly dry. And it's not until late tonight and even into the overnight, early Tuesday morning, where we have a chance at storms moving through. They're going to move in from west to east from Del Rio, Eagle Pass. They're going to pass through I-35 and then closer to San Antonio by about 10 p.m. tonight. Tuesday night, so tomorrow night, same thing. A few strong thunderstorms possible with more scattered rain during the day. But the main concern is tonight. It looks like it'll be the most widespread late tonight around the SA area, around the metro. And strong to severe storms is the possibility. So here's your timeline for the next several hours. Highs near 84 today. You can see mostly cloudy skies. And then after 6 p.m. is when the chance and opportunity, the window opens up for a few storms to move in. But it looks like the more widespread coverage of these thunderstorms that enter San Antonio will be after 9 p.m. through 10 o'clock through 11 p.m. and into the midnight hour and pre-dawn hours of Tuesday morning. So that is the main takeaway. So if you have plans outdoors for the next several hours through 4 and 5, you are good. But if you're watching from Del Rio, from Eagle Pass, and anywhere along the Rio Grande, that area in our western counties will be the main spot for development for this afternoon. So between Eagle Pass, Maverick County, Dimmitt County, Valverde County towards Del Rio, and even Big Bend National Park in West Texas, you can see right here on radar, this is current, and you can see storms are already lighting up in northern Mexico on the lee side of the mountain range, stretching all the way into Big Bend, I-10, Sonora, and West Texas. Now, a lot of this activity with the heating of the day and even more instability, some lift, it's going to ignite even more rain later on tonight. Now, at this hour, look at this, San Antonio, mostly quiet. You can see as I zoom in, just a few high-level clouds. But if you're watching from Uvalde, at that last frame, for example, near Highway 90 south of Camp Wood, pretty much north of La Pryor and around Uvalde County, some scattered light rain and maybe a few moderate downpours east of Highway 83. Is that it is? Yeah, there it is. Perfect. Okay. And near Texas 127 and south of Utopia and south of Camp Wood. So right now, that's the only coverage of rain in our local viewing area. This is west of Hondo, west of Divine, and north of La Pryor. So we'll keep an eye on this coverage, but right now through the afternoon, especially around San Antonio, it just stays dry, cloudy, and it's not until late tonight the coverage ramps up and more storms start to develop out west. And again, guys, let me know if you have any questions. We'll keep an eye on radar. We are looking at everything right now, but you can kind of see the setup right now. I'll put on the loop and show you at full screen. So anywhere from, West Texas all the way down into northern Mexico, that is going to be the breeding ground of thunderstorms that move through later on tonight. So the first spots that are going to see rain and storm activity will be Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Laredo, west of 35, and also near, let's say, I-10 and just south of Sonora. But at this hour, it is mostly cloudy, mostly dry in San Antonio, and most of the activity that develops this afternoon will be out west for San Antonio late tonight. So take a look as we zoom out and show you the bigger picture. Much of the state is quiet. From Houston to Dallas, it's under clear skies. If you travel farther east, down I-10 towards East Texas, you're going to see a lot of sunshine. But the farther west you go, the more cloud cover you run into. and even the coverage of rain increases slightly. So you'll see near Big Bend, southeast of El Paso, some light rain and even some storms out in northern Mexico. Now, I do want to mention a cold front moved through earlier this past weekend, and it has pushed through, and with it some cooler mornings, breezy as well. But with that same front, retreating back to the north as a warm front that's going to surge in humidity later on today, and that'll be the focal point for more storms later on tonight. With any boundaries that move through San Antonio, that creates lift, some instability, and creates a trigger mechanism for storms, and that's why we're expecting more storms later on this afternoon and this evening.
So that's Jack's shot on RS10 if you want to take it.
Oh, cool. And take a look at this shot, guys. This is from Bernie, correct, Jack?
Correct.
Oh, man. And this is a live shot. And you can see a little breezy out there. Winds are coming in from the south and very cloudy, setting up the stage for storms later on tonight. And as he moves it in the other direction, you can see, I think this is pointing out west, I imagine.
East-southeast.
East-southeast? Okay, well, there you go. You're going to turn it away from the A&M flag. But yes, all right, let's turn back to the weather graphics. You can see, Bernie, it's dry. It's just cloudy. You can see a lot of the cloud cover that is moving in from west to east, not producing and generating much rain, but anywhere from northern Mexico to Big Bend and near Del Rio, that'll be the first area that sees rain later on today, and the storms will move farther east by late tonight through early Tuesday. Okay, so let's show you the storm timing. I'm going to zoom in on this graphic and show you kind of what to expect. This is a rough estimate based on forecast model guidance on what to expect tonight. So if you're joining us from Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Sonora, even maybe near Rock Springs, the storms will develop out west and then travel east down Highway 90, down I-10 late tonight. So between Del Rio and Eagle Pass, it'll be about 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. where storms begin to ignite and really develop and strengthen. And typically, when you look at radar, they'll move in from northern Mexico, from the mountains. And with the lee side of the mountain range, that provides lift as well. It's what we call orographic lift, and that provides strengthening thunderstorms that move into Del Rio, Valverde County, Maverick County, Edwards County, towards Webb County and Laredo. So anywhere along the Rio Grande between 5 and 7 p.m. tonight, if not a little after 7 p.m., depending on how fast these storms roll through. Now you also see between Eagle Pass, Uvalde, Cotulla, Rock Springs, and Kerrville, that's where more storms are going to move through and move farther east. So the timing from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. for Del Rio and Eagle Pass, from Rock Springs to Hondo, to Kerrville, to Cotulla, and along the I-35 corridor towards Laredo, between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m., and then progressing and traveling farther east down Highway 90 towards San Antonio, Pleasanton, Tilden, San Marcos, New Braunfels, Northern Bexar County, Kendall County, Gillespie County, around 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Now, just take this with a grain of salt. It's just a rough estimate. This is based on forecast models, a couple of them we looked at. So, I mean, the timing may change by an hour or two through 5 p.m. tonight, but right now, that's the timing we're looking at for the arrival of these storms. First out west, later in Uvalde and Cotulla, Hondo, and Kerrville, and then later on in the night after sundown by about 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. for the San Antonio Metro. So it's going to be a late night event for much of the San Antonio area, for Bexar County, for Atascosa County, for B and Live Oak County, for Kendall County. It's going to be after 9 p.m. And if you keep a close eye on radar, you'll see these storms develop out west and then travel farther east down I-10 and Highway 90. So that's just a rough estimate and storm timing later on tonight for the South Texas area. And again, guys, let me know if you have any questions. If you're just joining us, we are watching just some cloud cover. I mean, not much rain out there right now. You can see it's just cloudy. It is quiet. Let's rewind the clock and show you our current radar setup right here. So we mentioned before, West Texas and northern Mexico and anywhere west of the Rio Grande, that's going to be the breeding ground for more storms later on tonight. So any storms that develop and move closer to San Antonio, they will start here. They will start anywhere from Laredo, northern Mexico, the Sierra Madre Mountains, up into Big Bend, Alpine, west of Sonora, and west of the Concho Valley. You can see, I mean, West Texas is always the starting point for these storms, especially in the spring season. They develop out west, they strengthen near the Rio Grande, and then they travel far all the way down South Texas from Del Rio to San Antonio to Austin and to Houston. So that's why we're keeping a close eye on this area right here. If you have a radar, while it's not too busy right now, take a look at this picture. In a few hours, I imagine by about 3 to 4 to 5 p.m., we'll see even more thunderstorms. With the heating of the day, hot air rises and the heat and humidity fuels these storms as they progress farther east. So one last look at this, you can see through about 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. is the better timing for San Antonio. For western counties from Uvalde, Medina County to Kerr County to Edwards County, between 7 p.m. through sunset and through 10 p.m. Out west, first areas that'll see the storms. Del Rio, Eagle Pass, you'll see storm activity between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. And then if you're watching from our eastern communities like Gonzales, Cuero, Victoria, even as far east as Bryan and College Station, that's where more storms will head through in the overnight. So if you're watching from Houston, for example, these storms won't enter your region in the Houston-Galveston area until tomorrow morning early, so around sunrise, between 2 a.m. and about 6 a.m. That's the timing for the Houston area, but for around San Antonio, it's late tonight after 9 and some lingering storms around 1 a.m. And that'll be in the overnight hours. So just a heads up there. Let's see what's next. Here's a forecast model. So for example, on that last graphic, we use forecast guidance to kind of give you an idea of how this timing is going to play out. So notice through this afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock, it is quiet here in San Antonio. We'll see a mix and blend of sunshine and clouds, highs below normal in the 80s, so we'll take that. And aside from maybe a stray light shower this afternoon, it'll be quiet. So this is a timing, and you can see in the upper right-hand corner, Monday today at 5 p.m. So watch as we progress through time, through 6 p.m. and then 7 p.m. That's when the storms enter Del Rio, Maverick County, Webb County, Valverde County, anywhere from Carrizo Springs, Eagle Pass, Del Rio. That's where the storms are going to enter first. And then you can see, we put this in motion again, 7 to 8 to 9 p.m., more storms develop. It's going to be a very large squall line that's going to cover a lot of real estate from Eagle Pass all the way up into San Angelo. Probably a matter of about 100 miles, and this convective system will probably stretch as far down as the valley and towards West Texas. So it's going to be a very large system that moves farther east after about sunset. So notice this, 10 p.m., we'll stop the clock. Uvalde, Carrizo Springs, Kerrville, Hondo, it's all knocking on your doorstep. And then Pearsall, 35, Pleasanton, San Antonio. This is when it's going to move in, around 10 to midnight tonight. Again, the timing may change a little bit, but this is a rough estimate and just a forecast model that, of course, will change hour by hour, but a decent outlook on what to expect. So big takeaway, late tonight for San Antonio after 10 p.m. If you're watching from Del Rio, Eagle Pass, it'll be early in the evening right there, about 5 to 7 p.m. And then 9, 10, and 11 p.m., this squall line, this line of violent thunderstorms moves east. And of course, with this kind of environment in place, a lot of heat, a lot of humidity, some of these storms will produce large hail and some damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. So when you get home from work today, if you're in San Antonio, try and bring in any loose lawn furniture, bring in any trash cans, anything that's outside you don't want to be blown away, because yes, rain can move things obviously, but the thunderstorms that drop all this rain can drop also very gusty winds, and that can blow things down the street. So just a heads up. So timing on San Antonio, we're expecting around, let's say 10 p.m. tonight, after 10 p.m. through midnight, and then until 1 a.m. And you can actually see this forecast model has been keen on saying this. It may even form a little what we call meso low into early tomorrow morning. What that means, it's just a very dynamic system that could produce even stronger wind gusts later on tonight. So we'll keep an eye on radar later on this evening, but of course this is just one model run. Late tonight around 5 to 7 p.m. for our western counties. We'll put this in motion 9 to 10, Uvalde, Carrizo Springs, Cotulla, Kerrville, and then into midnight after 10 p.m. and into 1 a.m., 2 a.m. for San Antonio, and this system moves farther east towards Houston for Tuesday morning. And then we'll do very similar coverage for Tuesday. So on Tuesday morning for San Antonio, there may be some lingering storms around sunrise between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. This is what the forecast model is going for. This is the IBM forecast model. And you can see lingering storms Tuesday morning, a little bit of cloud cover and some scattered light rain Tuesday afternoon, and then maybe some additional storm development out west and out north late Tuesday into early Wednesday. So timing is going to be kind of all over the place, but for tonight, it's going to be late after sunset, especially for the San Antonio area, before sunset if you're watching from Del Rio and Eagle Pass, and then some lingering storms into Tuesday morning, and then another round late Tuesday night, early Wednesday. So as these storms gather their strength with the heating of the day, they travel across the state in the overnight. So it's kind of how that happens, how it unfolds. Storms develop in the evening, they travel across the state during the late night and the early morning hours, and it looks like that's going to be the case tonight and late tomorrow night, early Wednesday. And of course, this is just one forecast model, take it with a grain of salt, but that's what we're using to put together one of many models putting together this forecast right here. So if you're just joining us, here's a rough timing on some of the storm activity later on tonight. They will develop and begin out in West Texas, and from Sonora to the Rio Grande to Del Rio and Eagle Pass, they will start to really rain and strengthen between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. and then move farther east down Highway 90 towards Uvalde and Hondo and Cotulla through 10 and 11 p.m. and then begin to enter the San Antonio metro probably between 10 and 1 a.m. and then towards East Texas, towards the Gonzales, Cuero, and eventually towards Houston by early Tuesday morning. So if you are traveling from San Antonio to Houston tonight, I would suggest to leave before 9 p.m. if you can, because any time between 10 and 1, that's when the storms are going to really move through from west to east. And then if you travel down I-10 towards Houston, the storms will just be following you. So just keep a close eye on radar. Have your radar app handy. Download the KENS 5 app if you can. If not, no worries. But keeping a close eye on radar tonight is something we'll be doing. And if you can too, especially if you are traveling anywhere from Austin to Gonzales to Cuero to Corpus Christi to Houston, this particular forecast is going to impact your commute. All right, so let's take a look at rain totals. Let's rewind this back and show you what we got. So this is an estimate, of course, another forecast model. This is the IBM, which was the other future radar model we were looking at. So you can see through tonight, Del Rio, Rock Springs could pick up upwards of an inch of rain because these are going to be very strong thunderstorms and moving from the west. Okay, so late tonight and then into early Tuesday around midnight, it says San Antonio may be up to a half an inch to an inch and a half, really depending on where these thunderstorms light up, they strengthen, and they move through. For example, this past weekend, we had a lot of lightning around San Antonio, but not much activity in downtown San Antonio. There was some spots west of Bexar County and around Bexar County that saw upwards of 2 inches of rain, but San Antonio this past weekend didn't see much. So we'll just have to watch radar and how these thunderstorms roll through, and you'll see through about, let's say, tonight into early Tuesday morning, and then more rounds of waves of rain moving through Tuesday morning and Tuesday night. This all could add up to about, let's say, this forecast model is going for about 1 inch to 3. So on average, between now and late Wednesday night, 1 to 3 inches of rain. Some isolated pockets like Uvalde, maybe near Austin, northeast of I-10, up to 3 to 4 inches of rain. So it could vary vastly, especially down south, out west, and north. But this is just to look at what kind of rainfall amounts we could be looking at in the next 48 to 72 hours, which is perfect because considering we're in extreme to exceptional drought, this is perfect. And of course, everywhere needs the rain, but at least we're talking about storm and rain chances based on the deficit we're in regarding the drought. So we do need the rain, and this month has been very dry. Matter of fact, I think this month ranks 4th or 5th in driest Mays on record. We'll have to double check that, but that was the latest on last week. It's just been a very dry month. And we talked about this, 1 to 3 inches on average around San Antonio. Best coverage of rain in the late night and early morning hours, especially as storms develop out west and out north and travel down Texas through the evening and overnight hours. So this is just a rough estimate. You can see here's a closer look. And then it backs off Thursday, Friday into Memorial Day weekend to the holiday. It looks fine. 0% chance at rain after Wednesday, but as of right now, during the day, 40 to 60, and then it ramps up during the evening and late night hours. So before we go, let's talk about this. This is the severe weather outlook for South Texas, and we are all included in that yellow shade. It's changed a little bit since early this morning, but anywhere in this yellow shade is a level 2 out of 5. It's a slight risk of severe storms, meaning any storms that develop in this yellow region will be capable of some hail, some damaging wind gusts, and even some rotation. So it's not a 3, it's not a 4, and it's not a 5, but the fact that we're in a level 2 out of 5 in the San Antonio metro, we'll have to keep an eye on radar, because storms that amplify and really burst in energy and just go up in the atmosphere, they will be capable of some large hail. So if any hail were to move into San Antonio tonight, it'll be after 9 p.m. So if you can, cover your car, park it in the garage, do what you can, take the necessary preps for tonight, as we expect a round of severe weather late tonight after 9 p.m. for San Antonio. Of course, that timing is going to vary depending on where you're at, so we'll go over the timing if you're just joining us. 5 to 7 p.m. for Del Rio and Eagle Pass, 7 to 10 for Rock Springs to Kerrville, to Uvalde and Hondo and Cotulla, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. from Kerrville to Tilden, Pleasanton to Bexar County, to Comal County, to Austin, to Wilson County. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember all the county names. And then farther east towards Houston after midnight through 4, 5, and 6 a.m. So that is the timing as of this morning on some of the storms that are going to move through later on tonight. So prep if you can. Most likely this is just going to be some good, much needed, beneficial rainfall, guys. And hopefully it is. This past weekend, some spots to the south near Karnes City reported some damage. Winds out of some thunderstorms picked up to 50 to 60 miles an hour, and that provided some damage areas to the southeast of San Antonio. But for today's forecast, that's actually Monday. That's not right, actually. Let's go back to the severe weather outlook. Let's bring the noon forecast here. Give me 1 second. And then I'll take that off. All right. Yeah, so here's the forecast for today. Mostly cloudy and dry, more importantly dry through 4 p.m. Scattered coverage of rain after 5 p.m., but the main storm line will move in after 9 p.m. into San Antonio. So you can see that is the outlook for your Monday. If you have any plans outdoors, if you're going to lunch this afternoon, it will be quiet. It'll be warm, but it won't be hot. 84 to 85 with a blend of sunshine and cloud cover and a breeze at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So not too bad today. It's just really in the late night hours we're concerned with the threat of some severe weather, and that's what to expect for tonight. So we'll end up things on the 7-day forecast, guys. 84 today, 86 tomorrow. And you'll see during the day, 40 to 50% on scattered rain, but in the late nights, it jumps. It ramps up to 60 to 70 to 80% coverage on these thunderstorms in the late night and early morning hours. Regardless, it's going to be an unsettled weather pattern as upper level energy moves in from the west. These little bursts of lift and energy will support some thunderstorms that may go severe, so just a heads up. Coverage tonight, 70 to 80%, and that's late tonight for San Antonio. And then, thankfully, if you have plans this weekend, perfect. Not perfect, but it's going to be hot. 92 on Saturday, 91 on Friday, and 93 on Sunday. And it's going to be similar as we head into the holiday for Memorial Day. But it will be dry from Thursday to Sunday. And as of right now, no significant rain chances after Thursday, but we'll keep a close eye on things. And we'll keep a close eye on radar later on tonight. And again, guys, if you have any questions about the weather for tonight, let me know. What do the HER models have? Luis says. Okay, let's actually take a look at that. So Luis asked earlier on in the chat, what does the HER model say? So there's a lot of different high-res models we look at. This is the IBM, for example. So that's just one high-resolution forecast model that says tonight around 5 to 7 for areas out west, storms out near Del Rio, Eagle Pass. Between 7 to 10 p.m., storms near Uvalde, Carrizo Springs, Kerrville, Fredericksburg. And after 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., these storms enter San Antonio, right into the midnight hours. So that's just one forecast model's opinion on what to expect. Now, that's the IBM. Let's switch it up to the HRRR. So someone was asking, what does the HER model say? That's what we call it, the HER model or the HRRR. So let's see what it thinks. So that was the IBM. Let's switch it to the HER. And this is the HER model. So it says very similar out west, more coverage of scattered rain through the afternoon, maybe an isolated storm near Bernie, near Kerrville at about 4, 5, and 6 p.m. So it goes for earlier coverage of storms for San Antonio later on this evening. So that's why each model, take it with a grain of salt. This one says, hey, earlier coverage of storms just before sunset and more storms develop out west, very similar to the IBM. And then 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., a strong and severe line of storms moving down I-10 and Highway 90 and approaching San Antonio around the 10 p.m. and midnight hour. So very similar to the IBM with the HRRR moving towards Houston Tuesday morning around sunrise. But the only difference with the HRRR, or the HER, it goes for scattered to isolated coverage around 5 p.m. later on tonight. So regardless, most of the afternoon should be quiet, but it's after 5 p.m. storms will get going, especially out west. There may be a few isolated pockets of heavy rain around Bernie, around Kerrville, around Rock Springs later on this evening, but the main line of storms that we're concerned about is the one that develops out west and then moves east down Highway 90 through the late night and early Tuesday morning hours in South Texas, moving towards Columbus at 6 a.m. and moving towards Houston about sunrise tomorrow morning. So that is the latest on one of the other models as of right now, but it's very similar, right? I mean, it was similar to the IBM with the exception of some of the isolated coverage of rain and storms around 4, 5, and 6 p.m. tonight. All right, let's see. Bet Pleasanton gets nothing. Again, I'm sorry, Brianna, I'm sorry. I mean, it's just how it happens. Sometimes, you know, these storms develop and everywhere will get rain and then some spots will get nothing. That's how downtown San Antonio was on Saturday night. We had so much lightning this past weekend. There was a lot of heavy rain around the area, but nothing. We had nothing here at the studios. We had some light rain. Downtown San Antonio got like a trace. The airport didn't see much either on Saturday night. So these storms, sometimes they moving from west to east and then they just collapse and they just get nothing for San Antonio, but for surrounding areas, up to 1 to 2 inches of rain early this weekend. So it just depends. We have to see how it unfolds on radar and see how it goes later on tonight. But cross your fingers. Hopefully you get some rain later on this evening for Pleasanton, Brianna. All right, guys. Well, for now, I have to get ready for the noon show. Tune in about 30 minutes for Ken's 5 at noon for the latest on, of course, the forecast, for local news, for weather, for traffic, for sports, all the good stuff. Will be on from 12 to 12:30 here on Ken's 5 on CBS, so tune in. Otherwise, we'll be doing live coverage later on tonight. We'll do team weather coverage with Bill Taylor later on this evening for 4, 5, 6, and 4:10. Otherwise, enjoy the rain that moves in tonight. Otherwise, also enjoy a hot and sunny forecast for Memorial Day weekend. If you have plans outdoors this weekend, it'll be hot, highs in the 90s. Have the sunscreen handy for Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, a very stormy night is ahead. Keep it here on Ken's 5. We'll be back later on. And add me on social media if you have any other questions on regarding the weather, traveling, anything regarding that later on tonight. Otherwise, have a wonderful Monday, guys, and make it a great one.